So federal authorities today, America's finest, at their best, taking human trash off the streets of America in Northern Virginia. A hop, skip, and a jump less than an hour away from the nation's capital in the White House in Washington, D.C. The third highest ranking member of MS-13 on the East Coast. Unfortunately, MS-13 has become a household name like Taylor Swift the last 4-5 years, thanks to the Biden administration and that cackling bozo, the former border czar, you know her by now, Kamala Harris. They did nothing. They opened up the borders and they waltzed on in, did the illegal invaders, including countless thousands of unvetted criminals. There you see the Fox headline. Top MS-13 leader arrested in Virginia. Authorities make MS-13 arrest just south of Washington, D.C. Now, they didn't release his name until later in the day, so here's his name. And it's Henry Josu Villatoro Santos. 24, alleged leader of MS-13. Like I said, they plucked him in Northern Virginia early this morning. And again, one of the top 3 leaders of the gang on the East Coast. Job well done. This is exactly why I and millions of others voted for President Trump. To put into place leaders like A.G. Bondi. No nonsense. Looking to clean up the mess that prior administration made. And again, take the filth off the streets. Here with the big announcement today was Attorney General Bondi, who talked about taking in this big dog in MS-13. Take a look and listen.
One of the agents said, if you want to rock MS-13 to its core, arrest him.
Wow.
That shows how bad he was. He was one of the top leaders, and he was living half an hour from where we're sitting right now, living among us.
And again, there you have it from A.G. Bondi. I know her well for the work she did right here in my home state as the Attorney General of Florida not that long ago. Now she's keeping up the good work for we the people and all 50 of the United States of America. Way to go. Big time work today for A.G. Bondi and her crew. Another woman that's off to a great start. Another no-nonsense, take no prisoners, excuse the pun, woman who is in command of her role. And she's got things cooking. The Department of Homeland Security, that's the Director Kristi Noem, former governor of South Dakota. Check this out for optics. Today, she went to the Supermax prison in El Salvador. Remember, about a couple hundred of the absolute worst of the worst, like this guy they apprehended today in Virginia. The dregs of humanity. They shuffled them into the Supermax prison in El Salvador. And our Director of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, bigger cojones any day of the week than the putz. Right there, Mayorkas. That was in that role before. Unbelievable. This woman. She has taken the job hands-on. And today, she had a special public service announcement standing in front of the criminals at the Supermax prison in El Salvador. Take it away, Kristi Noem.
First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
How about that? Not afraid, is she? Now, if you were to close your eyes, and once in a while you just have a nightmare, maybe you don't, but once in a while, I'll have a good old-fashioned nightmare. That's it right there. Enough said. That prison. I remember when Hurricane Katrina happened. I was watching the news and I had to turn it off because I kept having nightmares about Hurricane Katrina. If I watch enough tape of that Supermax prison in El Salvador, I'm going to close my eyes and start having nightmares. That's how scary that joint looks. But Kristi Noem, not afraid. And America, little by little, is getting back to being safe again, as the federal authorities instilled in place by the new administration led by POTUS 47 are starting to clean up the garbage, taking the gang leaders and the criminals off our streets and sending them back to where they came from. And even if the court's going to put an injunction in the place, like all these crooked judges, they're still going to send them off to prison and put them behind bars. Maybe Gitmo will be the next stop until they get it cleared up in the courts. I do believe the Supreme Court will clear this up, and there'll be regular flights going in and out of America to El Salvador. And they're not going to quit until they get every single gang leader and member that waltzed their way into this country the hell out of it. And I look forward to the day when each and every one of them is out of the U.S. of A.